Okay, guys. Well, welcome to tonight's Monday night team up call. We are certainly missing our fearless leader, Terry Luongo, but we are grateful that you've made every effort to join us tonight. And I am just so excited about tonight's program. Lisa Mosley is going to share more about the Shred 10 program and how you can shred for success. Just to give you some background on Lisa, she and her husband Ricky just celebrated 43 years of marriage. So congratulations, Lisa.
Thank you. Thank you.
They have 3 children. And so between those 3 children and their spouses, they have 10 grandchildren. And Lisa was a Juice Plus sales coordinator for 6 years, you guys. And she just felt like God was really calling her to share Juice Plus in a way that she never had before. And so she went from sales coordinator to senior sales coordinator in 4 months. And because she made just a huge change in the way that she approached her business and in the way that she shared the Shred 10 program, she was able to retire from a teaching career. She had been a teacher and just for 26 years, you guys. And so she was able to retire from that career. And today she has such a passion for inspiring healthy living. So I know you're going to be blessed by what she shares today. Lisa, we're excited to learn.
Thanks so much, Amber. You know, I'm always so happy to share my story, and especially this last year, because I now am living that life that there is unlimited possibility. What our team name means, it's just amazing. So I'm going to share my screen right now so that I can walk you through the steps and with what really started my Juice Plus journey. And it is all about possibility. And so I want to show you my why, my very first why. You know, we have to reevaluate that all the time. But this is my why. These are my husband, children, and 10 grandchildren. And 7 years ago, I could not get on the floor and play with the grandchildren that I had at that time. My physical health had deteriorated so badly. And I'm going to tell you that I was one of those reluctant distributors that all of us hate to meet up with. I was your worst nightmare. First of all, my daughter-in-law, Trish, who's on the end with her hand on her hip, I am certain that's how she put her hand on her hip when I would say, "Oh, Trish, I don't need it. I'm not interested. I already take vitamins." And I told her that for 4 years. But when my health started to deteriorate, Nicole approached me and she said, "Mom, listen, what's it going to hurt? It's just fruits and vegetables." And that began this journey that has just transformed my life. And I did not plan on becoming a distributor. I was just going to take the product, but the change in me physically was so amazing that people saw it and said, "What did you find out from the doctor?" And I would tell them, "It's not what the doctors said. I found a product called Juice Plus," and they said, "Where do I get it? I need whatever you're taking." So kind of feel like, you know, we all talk about the reversal of aging, and guys, it's the truth. It is totally the truth. So let's fast forward to last spring in 2016. I'll back up just a little bit. In 2014 or end of 2013, my sister had passed away unexpectedly. And then my mom passed away just a few months later in 2014. And Ricky and I had been caregivers for her. And one of the things that I want to share with you about this business that I love so much is it meets you where you are. And when you are ready to go with it, you can go. Because as we were caring for my mother, and then after she passed away, I had an injury to my hand that changed my career path. I was still a teacher, but at heart, but I couldn't teach art, graphic design, and I had a photography business, and I had an injury to my hand that would not allow me to continue those. So I was having to really find myself, and I just told Nicole, I have to just back out of the business for a while because I just can't seem to share it with people. Right now, my focus is on getting myself back on track. And so graciously, Nicole patiently, even though I know she would have liked me to move a lot faster, she reached NMD, even though I was sitting out for 2 years. But you know what I loved about during that time? My paycheck kept coming, and it did not drop very much at all. And that residual income piece of our business, guys, is just the most amazing thing. And especially when you're like me at my age, where I was wanting to retire, and you're not going to have a lot of money when you retire unless you have set a lot aside. So that was a really good thing for me. But in the spring of 2016, Nicole walked the stage as National Marketing Director, and it was in Phoenix, Arizona. And I'm going to tell you that it was life-changing for me. And a lot of people asked, was it because Nicole got National Marketing Director? And, I was so very proud of her, and I'm certain that perhaps that just opened my awareness to everything that was going on at the conference. But what it did for me, I just truly sat in that convention center and just felt God saying, Lisa, it's time for you to start really sharing Juice Plus with people. And so when I talked to Nicole about it, she said, Mom, here's what I think changed you. She said, you got back in the culture of the community at the conference. And when you were surrounded by all those people with all you'd been through, the years before, you found home again. And you found your people. So I came home from that conference with a new resolve. Here were the two things that happened. I finally let go of the fear. And I feel certain that all of us have felt it, and some of you now may be feeling it at this moment, that I can't tell people about this. I'm afraid that they're going to think I'm a pushy salesman, or that they're going to get mad at me and not want to be around me anymore. And we put all those thoughts in our head. And for some reason, at that point in time, when I flew home from that conference, I just had a new resolve, and I just said, God, just place people in my life who need to hear about Juice Plus. And as it turns out, he did just that the next week, and I'll share a little bit of that in a second. The other thing that I know that I had to do was to face my resistance. And Terry has talked about this before, that we go through these resistance cycles, and she likens it to a seed that's having to go through the friction of the ground to become a plant. And I love my tower garden. I grew up a farmer's daughter. I married a farmer. We farmed for 25 years, and now I have a greenhouse and raised beds and tower gardens. And so that totally resonated with me, and it made me realize that what I did last year, one of the things that changed in me was I faced my resistance. And my resistance at the time was my husband. I saw him as resistant because he didn't totally believe in the business. And I would do these Monday night calls. I'm going to tell you how I used to do them. I would make sure that he was busy watching Monday Night Football or a good movie or something, and then I would leave the room like I was going to get water, and I would go into my office and close the door and get on the call. Instead of just saying, Ricky, I'm going to go get on a call now, my Juice Plus team up calls right now. I tried to kind of hide that from him. And I began to see that it was not facing him and just saying, this is a business for me, and this is how I'm going to treat it that way. And that is something that totally changed, that helped my business in this last year, was I'm treating it like a business, and I'm letting others know that it's important to me. So here was the catalyst to change. I'm going to share numbers with you in just a minute, but you need to change your business the way that mine changed this last year. Experience and embrace the shred. And by that, I mean, you need to do the shred yourself. You know, when we first started the shred last year in June, there was one person after a little bit that said, I have some people who want to shred, and I knew she had never been a shredder before. And I said, well, do you want me to coach your people through it? And she went, oh, no, I can coach them. And guys, I'm just telling you, till you have experienced the shred yourself and understand what goes on in your body in detoxing, but also what changes up here, you're not going to be able to coach somebody. You're not going to be able to share that. So I want you to embrace the shred. And if you've never done one before, get with your upline, join us on a shred, let them coach you through it, and then you will understand the power of it. So here's what happened. People want visible results. And we all know from things we have seen from the shred that you get visible results. And so the pictures of me on the left from New Year's of 2015 till what it was this last year, I'm telling you guys, is nothing short of a miraculous transformation for this 61-year-old. Because after Mom's passing, I comfort ate. I didn't take care of myself. And I got in the mindset that I'm 61. I can't lose weight. I'm always going to be this heavy. So I might as well just do whatever I want to. And that really was where I was when my good friend Tish Clayton called me. She's a sideline buddy here in Lubbock. And she had done one of the shreds with Amber. And Tish called in late May and said, hey, would you and your team join me on a shred and let's get it going. Let's get a group going here in Lubbock and with your distributors and mine. And Tish and I have totally different stories about this because I was on the phone and I am telling you, when she asked me, I was going, oh, no. But I told her, oh, sure, if my teammates will say yes, then we'll do it. Well, Missy and Kippy and Carla Rodriguez said, oh, yeah, we want to do it. And so I didn't have any choice. But guys, I'm going to tell you, I had that little moment of fear because I had never been a dieter. I had watched friends of mine and family members who had lost lots of weight and then gained even more back, and that yo-yo dieting. And I didn't think I had the willpower. And what I was most afraid of was being a leader who couldn't do it. But what I'm going to share with you, just take that out of your mind. Let that fear go, because you can see the change in Tish from like June to, I think this was August when the picture of her was made. And I want to tell you that people are looking for quick fixes. And guys, it's not that this is a quick fix, but it is a lifelong fix, and it's a lifestyle change, and that's what I love. So here's what the shred is not. It's not a diet. It's not a fad. It's not a weight loss program. What the shred is a detox program, a lifestyle change, and it's doable, as I can share with you. So I want to show you some numbers of how it changed my business, because it didn't just change my body and my mindset and my lifestyle, but it changed my business. So in March of last year, 2,100 points. Now I want you to remember, this was when I came home from conference, and Holly Morris and Nicole said, hey, all of you who are sales coordinators, do you want to go for SSC by the fall conference? Let's get started. Are you in? And I jumped on it and said yes. But here's the reality. I had not been checking my virtual office. I didn't have a clue how bad my numbers were or how low they had gotten, how they had gone down. And so I said yes, jumped all in. And then I opened up my virtual office and saw 2,100 points and went, wow, I've got a long way to go. And I could have sat right there and thought that it was impossible. But guys, I wanted you to see this visual to know that it is possible, because I reached out to Lamona Klafka and Kippy Parsons and Missy Klafka and Carla Rodriguez, and they took off and they began to help grow with new customers and team. You'll notice that in June, you can see that we posted our first results from the shred on Facebook. My business had grown from 2,100 points to about 4,500 points. I was elated with that kind of growth. But then look what happened from June to July. When we posted, when we shared our shred experiences, we went from 4,500 points to 9,500 points, 5,000 points in 1 month. And then look at August. We jumped from 9,500 points to almost 14,000. So guys, over 4 months, my business changed almost 12,000 points. You can do it. It can happen. You just have to do it. You need to do the shred. You need to coach other people through it. You need to get your team involved, and you need to live the lifestyle, because that's what people were seeing in me and my team. It wasn't a short, quick thing. They knew that we had adopted this, and that basically we were shredding almost twice a month, every month. We didn't always do it as strictly as the first few months, but it has become just that for us, and our results have remained the same because we changed our lifestyle. And so you can see that my business has grown from 2,100 points in March until December. I finally overcame that 20,000 that I need to be QNMD. I'm still needing structure, but the points are there and they're solid, and they'll build your business, guys. So here's the thing. When we started Shred 10, we had nothing. There was nothing on the website. The company had not embraced it. We had the knowledge that Amber shared with Tish Clayton. We didn't have graphics. We didn't have videos. We didn't have anything, but we jumped in anyway. But guys, now there's no excuses, because you have everything at your fingertip on missiondrivenmodel.info. If you go to Living the Mission, and under that, either Shred 10, or you can go to the Healthy Living Revolution, and then you're going to go to the little gear down at the bottom by the Facebook symbol, and that will take you into an area that the password is revolution, and you can put that in, and you're going to have all the resources and images that you need. You have a shred guide, you have a shred system guide, you have a shred cookbook, you have videos, you have stories. You have Dr. Mitra Ray and Jake Kelly. Jake was the one who took Dr. Mitra Ray's Transform 30 and helped create the Shred 10 program. You have them sharing that, and you have everything you need. If you're really scared and don't know what to say, there's a simple presentation flip book. And so you can just have it on your computer, go through it with a potential shredder, and it gives you all the information that you need to share with them. There are graphics galore, and I love that there's now a group of people, Nicole is a part of that, I know, that do graphic design for us. We don't have to pay for these guys. Graphic design is expensive, and the fact that we get to do this and we have so many resources is just amazing. The system guide is everything you need as a shred coach or an accountability partner, we call them now. A planning calendar, questions you can ask that will clarify their what they're asking, texting verbiage, guidelines for sharing stories. One of the things that has changed that we needed to make sure we did, we used to share everyone's picture. I walked up to Catherine Lee at our P4Q school in January and introduced myself, and she went, "Oh, I know who you are. I've seen your picture on Facebook thousands of times." We don't do that anymore. We share pictures when we ask permission. You absolutely can post before and afters, but because we are not a weight loss program, don't just start posting a lot of before and after pictures. Put an explanation that you've changed your lifestyle, that you're starting to exercise, you're sleeping more, you're drinking more water, you've changed your diet. And that's how we do it. There's a customer profile, customer care tips. Where do I begin? There's a sheet in there called the customer journey that gives you step-by-step what to do. When you don't know how to approach someone for the shred, go to this page and it will take you through those steps. Do live events. The shred related events to me are the most fun of everything that we get to do in Juice Plus. This was a salad in a jar party at Lamona Klafka's house, and we've had smoothie parties. In the winter, we had soup swaps where they brought a pint jar and they got to sample sample 4 different soups, and then got to take home a pint that they could have for lunch. Taste the shred. I'm telling you what, people think it's a diet. They think we're deprived. They think the food is flavorless. We're only eating salads. And little do they know that I get to have a decadent chocolate mousse cake that is totally shred approved. And so, when they start to taste those and go, you mean you're eating this every day? You get to have this when you're shredding? And you get to go, yeah. And that's why I feel so good and why I love this program. And now that we have our tower gardens growing, have a tower garden party. Invite people over. Use some of your lettuce or your herbs or your tomatoes and show them that they also can grow their own food. The Shred 10 guide for your customers has everything they need. Snack ideas, smoothie ideas, recipes. It has questions answered by leading professionals. Guys, this is all on missiondrivenmodel.info. This was the post that changed my business. And if you read it, it has absolutely nothing to do with Juice Plus, except that I'm wearing the shirt that Kathy Crockett had sent me for Team Brave. That was it. I woke up at 3 in the morning. I couldn't sleep. And so I started doing a previous study I'd done on Gideon. And in this study, they were talking about that God calls you in just ordinary circumstances. You think you are not worthy to do great things, but God told Gideon was going to save Israel from Midian's hand. And he didn't believe that he could, but he did. And so I wanted to share this because this was just a story about my life that changed my business. Because I got up at 3 that morning, went through that Bible study, and then that morning, a 14-year-old student of mine called me and said, Mrs. Mosley, my mom is dying. Would you come to the hospital and be with us? God prepared me at 3 o'clock in the morning for that. Guys, God will prepare you if you let him go ahead of you in your Juice Plus business. So I just want to speed up the program a little bit so that I can get through and show you what it did with customers. In March of last year, remember when I had 2,100 points? And I looked in my office and thought, man, my team members haven't been doing anything. They haven't put in any orders. They haven't been taking care of customers. And guess why? It was because I wasn't either. And I wasn't leading them, and I wasn't doing it personally. And you can see how our numbers jumped from one order, which was my sample soft chews, after I left conference so that I could share them with other people. Then in April, 18 orders when Kippy and Missy and Carla came in, and then in May and June, and look what happened in July and August. 125, 143, over 100 almost every month because of the shred. So what I want to share with you tonight is just this. Take away every step, every journey starts with just a step. And anything is possible. Embrace the shred. Educate yourself, educate your people, share it with others, and you are going to be amazed at how your business will grow and how it will be blessed. So thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight. Amber, I'll turn it back over to you.
That was incredible, Lisa. And the whole time I was muted out, but I was like, amen. Yep. Because you're right. It's just the program has evolved so much. And, really we are in a sweet spot, you guys, with the resources that are provided for us. So check those out. I think the biggest thing that Lisa says is to experience the shred, to go all out, like to do it. And commit yourself and have an experience. And if you ever are in a place where you feel stuck in your business, one of the things that I would say is have another experience. Just keep having that experience and keep sharing that with people And that is absolutely, as she said, what attracts people, is that this is about lifestyle, and people are watching. They may not jump on board, you know, that first time. They may sit back, but the longer that you do it and the more consistent that you are, the more they're going to see that this is real. So you guys have a great night, and we'll see you next week.